So having understood this, let us go and learn about another very important method, I would say, which is called as finding the length of a string. Now this is very important, as I mentioned to you, specifically in case of password management. So this is what we are going to do now. Finding the length of any given string. Now, how are we going to do that? Now, in this case, first name is the variable that is holding the string. Now, if you want to find the length of that first name, all you need to do is to just give document.write and within parentheses place the first name, and to that add a period and then give this function length and then end it with a semicolon. So once you execute this, this would give you the length of this entire string. So I'm refreshing it. It says 9. Now let me go back and add some 2 characters and save it. And I don't want these things, so I will comment these things off. So these wouldn't be executed. So if I'm going to save it here, and then go back here and refresh it, it says the length is 10. Maybe probably you can add and then you need to place this concatenation sign. So probably you can give some space here. Now if you don't place this plus is a concatenation sign, nothing would work. We will get an exception. So I'm going here, refreshing it, so you can clearly see the length of the string is 10. Now what if you are giving a space here? Let me go back, and I have already given a space, so I want to check what happens here. This is 10. So I'm refreshing it. You see that I'm getting 11. Now what if you want to give that many spaces and you want to save it and you want to go back and check it? So you get that space there. Can you see that? 15 is the total length of the string. Now it is imperative to understand when you talk about length, I'm just taking all this off and just simply saving it. The count is starting from 1. So in other words, it exactly provides us with the number of characters present. Now in indexing, the first number count starts from 0, but in length, the first number count starts from 1. So this is a huge difference, and you got to be very careful when you are using them. So having placed that particular information, there is this next concept that you will have to also know and implement it. That is called as the last index. Now let me just place that here. Finding the last index of a string. Now this is also very critical. Now why it is critical? Because when it comes to password management, you would have to implement this. Space is a precious commodity. So I'm going to show you how to find out the index of a name, the last index of a name. So probably I can say some z1 last index. To the maximum extent, make sure that the names are or the variables that we are using, it has to be self-explanatory. We shouldn't be using jargons. Of course, it works in mathematics, but while designing application, becomes a requirement that we associate some level of understanding. So having mentioned that z1 underscore last index, I am interested in calculating the last index. So what I'm going to do, I am going to get the length. So how do I get the length? That is critical. So we cannot simply get the length as we have just shown you. So I'm going to show you how to get the length. What we need to give is the first name and then place a period and then give length. So this is going to give us the length of the string, but we don't need the length of the string. We want the last index of the string. So for that, you need to place this -1 and end it with a semicolon. Now I will print that out, document.write of z1. Now this one would give me the very last index. So for this to happen, I need to comment this off. Okay, so we should have. So we will print this here. right? That's the way we need to do. So we will save it here. We go back and we refresh it. So you see that 9 is the last index. Now, if you want to get the last index, of course, you can simply say another statement here. Say you want to print what character is present in the last index. You can very well do that. You have captured the last index. All you need to do is to get it printed. So you can say document.write of first name within the square parenthesis. You want to know the letter of the last index, right? So just take this variable which is housing the last index and then place it here. That's it. So this would give you the letter that is present in the last index. So I'm going to save it and go back and show it to you. So I'm refreshing it. You see that I'm getting I'm getting an R there. Is it an R there? So probably what we can do is we can just give a statement just to understand the character at last index is, you can close it within double quotes, give a space and a positive sign, that's a concatenation symbol, and then you save it. So this one, if you save it and run it, you see that this is the solution. The last index is R. The letter that is present in last index is R. And 9 is, so that means if the index is 9, then the number of characters present would be 10. Based on this information, you would be able to allocate the required spaces. So having mentioned this, and not only that, you can also create a check here. You can also create a check here with the information that we have got. It says the last index is R. So we can also create a check here. So we have, in this particular illustration, we have learned how to index a string. We have learned how to extract the characters from a string based on the index that we have learned, the index method that we have learned, and we have also learned how to find the length of a string. That is also very critical to get the length, and the command is this. And we have also learned how to get the last index using the length and then get it printed. And not only that, we were also able to extract the character present in the last index. So we have done quite a lot of things in this particular illustration. So I have attached the code here for your benefit. We will move on to the next concept.